Alright, bro, what are you getting done today, man?
Let me get a mid fade with the C cups, and then towards the top, I like to keep like a lot of bulk, almost like flared out.
Almost flared out, okay.
Or the top just like maybe an inch off. I just like it to kind of flow back.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you making my job easy and explaining that very well.
Yes, sir.
And bald on the sides, right?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Cool. You guys can tell he cuts hair.
YouTube, what's going on, guys? You heard the consultation. We're gonna give him a mid-bald fade. He wants to keep the C cup and he wants it to flare out a little bit. He wants that bulk around the parietal ridge. So I'm gonna start off with clipper over comb because that's what I'm gonna use as my baseline to determine the length that I'm gonna fade into. And if you notice, I'm pulling my comb out just a bit because I do want to retain that bulk. I don't lay my clipper comb flat on the head because you may cut it too close and lose that darkness you need to maintain a gradient fade. So what I'm really focused on is the length at the parietal ridge. Okay, so once we've completed that, we're gonna follow it up with a number 4 guard. This is what I'm gonna use to cut right underneath the clip over comb I just did. And if you notice, I am gonna slightly scoop out because again, we're trying to keep that flared out shape. And that number 4 keeps it keeps it dark. If you notice, it's still gonna be dark right beneath where we did that clip over comb, where all that weight is sitting. All right, so once we've done that, considering the section, we're gonna take another section from the apex of the head to the recession. The recession is the corner of your hairline. We're gonna pull that hair down to the area where we did clip over comb, the longest length, and we're gonna connect this hair to that area. Even if it's just a little bit of hair, anything that's disconnected, we wanna connect so that regardless if he has product in his hair or not, it's always gonna flow and lay nicely. You're never gonna see any overhanging hair, okay? And in that same area, I'm gonna use these blending shears just to blend out any possible lines that might occur from doing such blunt hair cutting. Like when we connected everything, we created some lines, right? Because we cut it blunt straight across. So I just like to go through there and just soften it up a little bit with the blending shears. Now I think it's starting to lay out nice. Stay tuned, because once we get done with the top here, we're gonna start the fade process. So I started off with the fringe area because that seemed to be the shortest length on him, and I'm gonna use that as my guide for the rest of the cut.
Damn it, Tito, another one?
Okay, and then in the back, we're gonna take vertical sections and create and cut cut the hair squared so that it lays down nice and layered. Alright, so once we've cut the top, we're gonna blow dry the hair, and he literally just told me he doesn't wear any product in his hair. He just lets it go messy on top, and that's how he rocks it. So when we blow dried it, we just kind of just blasted it with air. Alright, so remember the highest guard we used before was a number 4. We're gonna fade down. I'm gonna use a number 3 guard. Pay attention to the fade because we're fading down the entire time. Alright, for me this works, especially when you're trying to keep weight or bulk in a certain area and you don't want to cut too much off. It lets you control that. So we're doing our number 3 guard open, number 3 guard closed right beneath that, and we are stacking our guards. Stacking just means, you know, let's say you're using a number 4, right beneath that you would use the next lowest, the next guard down. So right beneath that number 4 would be a number 3. Right beneath that, a 2 open, 2 closed. You know, just keep going down. All right, right beneath that is a number 2 open. And you don't want to go up higher than where you were with that number 3, because then you're going to take all that weight you're trying to keep. Underneath that 2, we're going to use our 1.5 guard. It's open, and then we'll close it up some. And you can already see the fade starting to come together. All right, underneath that, we're using our 1 guard open, and then the 1 guard closed. Now we're at the half guard open, and underneath the half guard, we'll go straight to our blade open and close it little by little. And guys, I'm sorry about the autofocus. I forgot to turn off, or I forgot to put it on manual. But here we go. Now we got it. Look how blurry that's coming. So we got it zoomed in. And the reason why I zoomed it in now is because we're starting to close our clipper. We're starting to get to bald. So now we're all the way closed with our clipper. And right underneath that, we need to use our trimmer. But it's so satisfying to me when you fade down and the fade starts to come to life. At least for me it is. You guys tell me in the comment section. All right, and now once I fade down, I like to fade up some and just clean it up. But let's go ahead and put this C cup on him and start to bald him out. This is where the cut really gets to the next level. Look at that C cup. All right, guys, so we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Let's see if you can follow along. Let's see if it all makes sense after watching the left side. And of course, you can follow along with the color guide on the bottom left corner. Guys, pay attention to the cutting teeth, not necessarily the guards, because if you just pay attention to the guard teeth, it's gonna look like I'm going in the same spot over and over and over again. But if you pay attention to the actual blade, the cutting teeth, what's cutting the hair, you'll see I'm actually going lower and lower with my guards. But that's how close you need to be in order to create a fade or a transition. And even in the back, if you look at the shape, it's flaring out. It's coming out a bit. That's the shape we want. Once you get to the half guard, you're basically done with the fade. Like now at this point, you're just going blade all the way open and starting to close it little by little, little by little. And when you get to the blade open, if you create a line on accident, just slap that half guard back on and go up a little bit to remove whatever line you did. You got plenty of space here. In this area, you got to be really careful where it starts to curve into the back. You got to be very careful that that doesn't look too dark. So I like to spend some time there detailing that area. All right, now we got to put the C cup on my guy. And now we're pretty much detailing.
Tito.
Look at this angle. This angle looks crazy, like stupid blurry. And guys, we're tying everything into the back, but the way that I faded it, it should just kind of cross into each other in the back. If you notice how we faded it, and then you just got a little bit of detailing to do in the back to connect it all together. But I'm loving the gradients that I see from this angle going into the C cup. And obviously, you guys know the pain. The back can be a struggle sometimes, but we take our time and we just make sure it looks as good as the sides. We haven't even put the shaver on him. Oh, here we go. So the shaver is just gonna make it pop even more because it's gonna get it even lighter on the sides. All right, now remember, he said he just likes his hair messy, but I wanted to look, you know, a little like strategically messy, right? So I put a little bit of 245 volumizing, texturizing powder. You can get it at 245.com, and we just shook it into his hair. We shook it onto the top of his hair, and then with our hands distributed it into the hair. And you can see it's got a messy look, but it's got a nice, clean, textured look. Guys, this is the before. Now check out the after. Guys, I really appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you're new to the channel, we are dropping daily content. Make sure you subscribe so you don't look at the flared out look right there. Okay, smash the like button. Let me know what you guys thought about the cut in the comments below.